Hello everyone, Mike Arnold here, co-founder of Pat Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacchino, checking in on NEO. So we had our projections from this most recent move up to the high, 42.54 and then 43.90, spiking up through that, pretty much holding though at the 50% retracement of this whole prior down move. That's generally a very critical level. So you should definitely have those retracements on your chart. Coming back down, you see on it move up, you got the separations and holding the rotation zone. Now closing back below it, spiking, but now this is now resistance and we have the first cross against us. Let's see if it can manage to get up, back up here and stay in consolidation or drop lower. I'm just going to do the lower projections here. If we drop below the 50 period exponential moving average, then we'll be watching for about 36.17, which is this little shelf of support from before. And then we have a cluster and the spike low right around 35.20 to 35.30. That's the next key level. And if that breaks, then I'd be watching it to return to about the 31.40 level. Now, if we do rally back up, we can update these levels. Let's switch over to the daily actually. So on the daily, we are above the rotation zone, but we're sitting right here and we don't have the first cross yet. And if we go lower, we're not going to get the first cross. So if you're in bull mode, you'd want this to hold and then rotate back up, and then you'd be watching for catches on the first cross. So if we rally back up, the minor resistance is going to come in probably about 41.04. Then we'll be watching for a return to the 42.80, 50% retracement level. Then back through that. Keep in mind, just watch this 50 period exponential, especially if it drops in line with this prior highs, because that's going to really reinforce this prior high as being major resistance. Through that, we have 45.61 and 47.32. Just want to see one other thing. Back on here, there was a really nice divergence, so we made a clear higher high, but a lower high in the RSI. So you see we had these highs and then lower high, but price made a clear higher high divergence, which when you see that doesn't mean the move is over, because you can have multiple divergences in a row. This move happened to be over, but that means at least move up your stop or get more cautious or take something off the table, because you might get the bigger pullback like we did, and it'll enable you to add on back lower if you get a new re-entry signal. Switching over to NEM. So we actually had to drop to the 1 hour chart to get this level. I can show you that on the 1 hour chart. It had to be on this little pause right here that gave us the next levels, and they were actually spiked through, which can happen. But the reason it's still on the chart is, so we went through to 0.1969, then the 0.202. We had a cluster of 0.2018 to 202, spiked right through there, pulling back down to pretty much where it was projected from. Then look at this middle level right here, 0.1969 area, resistance all across. Whenever it tried to get above that, it kept dropping back down. It caught on the rotation zone, couldn't get up, make new highs, tried to catch on it again, and then plummeted back down to the 50, which is why that's our next key level we watch for. Now holding at the 50, and we have the first cross. Let me move some of this out of the way. That's why I wanted to leave it on the chart for everybody so they can see. That's why you don't immediately remove the levels. Now, if we break below the 50, I'll be watching for a return to this cluster area, this 0.177, 0.178 area right in here. Then below that, next minor area 0.1746, next major area 0.1707 to 0.1693. So that's the next major area we'd be watching for a reversal. And back below that, if it really moves down, then we have another retracement cluster and prior resistance becoming support right around the 0.1615 area. Also, on any rally back up, these moving averages are a little flat, but if they do continue to separate, then you'll be using them as the resistance area, just as we use them as support on the way up. They then become resistance. If this does hold here and rally back up into this congestion channel, then just sort of ignore the moving averages. Are going to go flat and choppy, and really pay attention if we break up above 0.1969 or then break back down below really the 0.1817. A close beyond either of those levels, the upside or downside, will really give you the next direction. That's what we are watching for. Let's check in on the daily chart. Daily chart clearly got above the rotation zone, caught then on the 21. We don't have the first cross, and now selling coming back in. So that's what we're watching for to see. Here are those key levels. You can see them on the charts. This 0.1's the level cluster I just talked about. So if we close below that, then watch for the lower levels we talked about. If we get a close above this other cluster, watch for the retest of the highs and then the higher levels we talked about. And pay attention on the daily with the 50 where it comes in, especially if it heads lower towards this 0.218 to reinforce that. That's going to be a major cluster on a rally. But really watch to see which side of this, see blue and red lines on either side. Really watch to see which side we get moved beyond, and that's going to give you your next major direction. So what we have for you in NEM and NEO, and we'll talk to everyone soon. Bye for now.